Hello students, welcome back. Let's do ratio and proportion exercise 7. Exercise 7b is on page number 100. We are with question 5, first one. If A is to B is equal to 3 is to 5 and B is to C is equal to 4 is to 7, find A is to B is to C. Okay, so what is given to us? A is to B is 3 is to 5. Let's write it down. And B is to C is 4 is to 7. Now we are asked to find A is to B is to C. Now from this, if I have to take A, so as you can see, A is to B, so this is 3. A is 3, isn't it? So if I have to take A, I can write 3 is 2. Now if I have to take B, I can write 5, isn't it? B is to 5. But here also I have B, and here B is 4 and C is 7. So here also I have B. Now here if I have to write A is to B is to C, A value is there and C value is there. But for B I have two values. Now how do I do this? Now what I have to do here is I must find the LCM of B, that is 5 and 4. So let's find the LCM of 5 and 4. So sums like this, these are the steps you need to follow. So let's find the LCM. Let's take 5. 5 ones are 5. 4. Then now we're going to use prime numbers, remember. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Continue again with 2, 1 and 1. So LCM equals 5 into 2 into 2. 5 twos are 10, 10 twos are 20. So now what are we going to do? So now let's write A is to B as A by B and it's given as 3 by 5. 3 is to 5 is 3 by 5. Now B is the one that we are looking at, isn't it? So we found the LCM of the two values for B. One is 5 and one is 4. So we found the LCM of B to be 20. So we're going to use that 20 only for B here. Okay, so we're looking at B. So 5 into what will give us 20? 5 fours are 20. So we multiply this also by 4. So what do we get here? 3 fours are 12 and 5 fours are 20. Same thing, let's do it to the other side. So B by C, let's write it as B over C is equal to 4 by 7. Again, look at B. B is 4 and we found the LCM to be 20. So 4 into what will give us 20? 4 into 5. So multiply this by 5. Multiply this also by 5. So now what do we have? 4 5s are 20 and 7 5s are 35. Now let's look at all the values. So A, we've got it as 12. As you can see here, A is equal to 12. Now B is equal to 20. Now here also B is equal to 20. So B has become the same now. So B is equal to 20. And look at C. C is become 35. So C is equal to 35. Now we can find the ratio between A is to B is to C. So how much is A? 12 is to, and B is 20 and C is equal to 35. So the ratio between A is to B is to C is 12 is to 20 is to 35. Now if these numbers, all three can be reduced to the lowest term, you can do it, but this cannot be reduced. So this is the final answer. Question 2. If x is to y is equal to 2 is to 3 and y is to z is equal to 5 is to 7, find x is to y is to z. Just like the previous sum. So let's write what's given. So x is to y is given to us 2 is to 3 and y is to z is given to us 5 is to 7. And here as you can see, x is 2 and y is 3. Now here again y is 5 and z is 7. So the value of y is different. Y is 3 here and y is 5 there. So we have to make it equal. And how to make the value of y equal? By finding the LCM of y. So y is 3 here and y is 5 here. So let's find the LCM of 3 and 5. This way we can make the value of y the same. So 3 ones are 3 and 5. Then again divided by 5, 1 and 1. So what is the LCM? The LCM is 3 into 5 and 3 5s are 15. So now the next step that we're going to do is write this in the form of a fraction. X by y is equal to 2 by 3. And now what did we do? We found the LCM of this y and we found it to be 15. So 3 into what will give us 15? 3 into 5. So 3 5s are 15. So multiply this also by 5. So what do we get here? 2 5s are 10 and 3 5s are 15. Now let's go to the next one. So here we have 5 is to z, y is to z. So let's make it y is to z in the form of a fraction. This is equal to 5 by 7. Now here again we're looking at y. Y is 5. We found the LCM to be 15. So 5 into what will give us 15? 5 into 3. 5 threes are 15. So multiply this also by 3. 5 threes are 15 and 7 threes are 21. So now we have the values of all these. X is equal to, now we found the value of x to be 10. Y is equal to, now here if you look at y is 15 here and here also y is 15. So we got the same value for y. So y is 15 and z is 21. As you can see here, z is 21. So now we have the values of all three variables here. Let's write it in the form of a ratio. X is to y is to z will be these numbers, that is 10 is to y is 15 and z is 21. So what is our answer? 10 is to 15 is to 21. Now this cannot be reduced to the lowest term, so this is our final answer. Question 3. If m is to n is equal to 4 is to 9 and n is to s is equal to 3 is to 7, find m is to s. So let's write down what's given. So m is to n is given to us and n is to s is given to us. So 3 is to 7. Now what have we been asked to find? We've been asked to find only the ratio between m and s. M is to s. That means we have to remove n from both. From both the ratios we have to remove n. Now this is how we do it. So here I'm going to write this as a fraction m by n and I'm going to multiply this by the next ratio n is to s. Write it as a fraction n by s. N by s. So we're going to write the values of that given. Now m by n is 4 is to 9 or 4 by 9. So let's write that 4 by 9. Similarly, n is to s is 3 is to 7, which is 3 by 7. So we're going to write that. Now let's look at the left hand side. Left hand side we have m by n into n by s. Multiplication. So we can cancel the n and what do we have here? We only have m by s. So we have removed n. Now similarly on the other side, let's see what we can cancel. We can cancel 3 and 9. So this is multiplication. So let me change that to multiplication. This is multiplication. So we can multiply both here. So here what can we cancel? 3 and 9. So 3 1s are 3 and 3 3s are 9. So when we multiply this, what do we get? Multiply the numerators and the denominators. The numerator is 4 1s are 4 and the denominator 3 7s are 21. So 4 by 21. So 4 by 21. So m by s is 4 by 21. That means m is to s is equal to 4 is to 21. So this is what we've been asked to find. We've been asked to find m is to s and we found m is to s to be 4 is to 21. So these are the steps to be followed. So let's Question 4. If P is to Q equals 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 and Q is to R equals 1 1 by 2 is to 1 1 by 3, find P is to R. So we have been given P is to Q and Q is to R and we have to find P is to R. That means we have to remove this Q from both sides and find only P is to R. So first step, we're going to simplify. Now on the right hand side, as you can see, there are mixed numbers. So shall we simplify this first? So let's write that. So 2 1s are 2 plus 1 is 3. So that becomes 3 by 2 is 2. 3 1s are 3 plus 1 is 4. So that becomes 4 by 3. So now we have simplified. Now P is to Q is in the form of fraction, isn't it? This ratio is the form of fraction. So let's simplify it, get whole numbers so that when we do our final step, it's going to be easy. So let's write this in the form of a fraction. So this becomes P by Q. This is equal to, now this also should be written in the form of a fraction. 1 by 2 is already a fraction by 1 by 3. or this is division as we know. So 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 3. Let's simplify this further. So this becomes P by Q is equal to 1 by 2, division changes to multiplication, 1 by 3 becomes 3 by 1. So now let's multiply the numerators, 1 3s are 3 and the denominators 2 1s are 2. So we have found P by Q in simpler terms to be 3 by 2. So earlier what did we have? We had two fractions. Now we have only one fraction with two whole numbers. Now similarly, let's do on the other side also. So here we have Q is to R. We'll write it as a fraction. Q by R is equal to, now we have Q by R equals 3 by 2 is to 4 by 3. So we have to write this also in the fraction form because this is in the fraction form. Or this is division, so we can write this in the division form. So that is 3 by 2 divided by 4 by 3. So this is equal to Q by R, which is equal to 3 by 2. Division changes to multiplication. Reciprocal is 3 by 4. Now multiply the numerators. 3 3s are 9 and the denominators 2 4s are 8. So now we have the value of Q by R also in simpler terms, not as fractions, but 9 by 8. So now we have the simpler terms. Now let's work out P by Q. Now we are going to find out the value of P is to R. So what should we do? P by Q into Q by R. And how much is P by Q? P by Q is 3 by 2. So let's write that. 3 by 2 into, how much is Q by R? 9 by 8. So let's write that. 9 by 8. Now since it's multiplication, we can cancel. I can cancel the Q's. So what does this become? This becomes P by R. The Q has gone. Now on the other side also, let's cancel what we can. Now there's nothing to cancel. So we're going to multiply the numerators and the denominators. 3 9s are 27 and 2 8s are 16. So P by R is equal to 27 by 16 or P is to R. P is to R is 27 is to 16. So go back to the question and see what we've been asked to find. Find P is to R. And we have found P is to R. And how much is that? 27 is to 16. Question 5. So here we have A is to B is equal to 1.5 is to 3.5 and B is to C equals 5 is to 6. Now here we must find A is to C. So let's do that. So first what's given to us? A is to B is given to us and B is to C is given to us. So first thing we'll do is we'll simplify this. Let's simplify A is to B. So A is to B can be written as a fraction A by B. This is 1.5 by 3.5. Now we can make this whole numbers taking away the decimal point. So if you multiply by 10, it becomes 15. Multiply 3.5 also by 10, it becomes 35. Now we can reduce this further. To simplify this, we are reducing it. We're going to divide both by 5. So when you divide by 5, what do we get? 5 3s are 15 and 5 7s are 35. So A by B is equal to 3 by 7. And we already know what B is to C is. B is to C is 5 by 6. Let's write that as a fraction. B by C equals 5 by 6. So now we need to find only A is to C. So let's write A by B into B by C. This is equal to, how much is A by B? 3 by 7 and B by C is 5 by 6. So now let's cancel. So B will be cancelled. So what do we have here? We have A by C. Now on the right hand side, what can we cancel? We can cancel 3 and 6. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. So multiply the numerators and the denominators and write here. So here this is 1 5s are 5, 7 2s are 14. So A by C is equal to 5 by 14. So now we're going to write it as a ratio. A is to C is equal to 5 is to 14. So we have our answer 5 is to 14. Question 6. If 1 1 by 4 is to 2 1 by 3 equals P is to Q, and Q is to R is equal to 4 1 by 2 is to 5 1 by 4. Find P is to R. Okay, so let's begin by writing. We'll write P is to Q. What is given to us? P is to Q is equal to 1 1 by 4. Let's convert. 4 ones are 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 by 4 is 2. 3 twos are 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 by 3. So P is to Q is equal to 5 by 4 is to 7 by 3. Let's simplify this further. P by Q is equal to 5 by 4 divided by 7 by 3. So again, this is equal to P by Q, which is equal to 5 by 4 into 3 by 7, the reciprocal. So this is equal to 5 into 3 is 15 and 4 into 7 is 28. So we have found the value of P by Q, which is equal to 15 by 28. We have simplified it. Now let's go to the other side. Now Q is to R is equal to, let's convert this. 2 4s are 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 by 2 is 2. 4 5s are 20 plus 1 21. 21 by 4. That is Q by R is equal to 9 by 2 divided by 21 by 4. So this is equal to Q by R, which is 9 by 2 into 4 by 21. So here we can cancel. We can cancel 2 and 4. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. We can also cancel 9 and 21 by 3. 3 3s are 9, 3 7s are 21. Now multiply the numerators. 3 2s are 6 and in the denominator we have 7. So we have simplified Q by R to 6 by 7. Okay, now let's go ahead and find P is to R. So the first step is simplifying. Now we'll start working it out properly. So this is P by Q into Q by R is equal to, how much is P by Q? 15 by 28 into, and how much is Q by R? 6 by 7. So now let's cancel. We can cancel Q and Q here. Now here we can cancel 6 and 28 by 2. 2 3s are 6 and 2 into 14 is 28. Now there's nothing more to cancel, so let's multiply the numerators and the denominators. 15 3s are 45. Now 14 into 7 is 98. 14 into 7 is 98. So we've got P is to P by R. Okay, so P by R is equal to 45 by 98. That means the ratio of P is to R is equal to 45 is to 98. So that is our answer. 45 is to 98. Question 6. If x is to y is equal to 5 is to 4 and 2 is to x is equal to 3 is to 8, find the value of y. Here we've been asked to find only the value of y. Now let's take the first part of the question given to us here and consider that as equation 1. So this is going to be equation 1. But as you can see here, there are two unknown quantities. So we have to solve this, isn't it? To find the value of y, which is asked in the question, we need to know the value of x. So for that, we're going to take the second equation, second part of the question, and make it our second equation. So this is equation 2. Now in equation 2, as you can see, only the value of x is given. So it's easy to find. So here we'll use the formula which says product of extremes equals product of means to find the value of x. So what do we have here? Product of means, let's take first because we want the value of x. So x into 3 is equal to product of extremes, which is 2 into 8. Now from this we can find the value of x. X is equal to 2 into 8 by 3. That is 2 8s are 16 by 3. So the value of x we have found to be 16 by 3. This is with the help of equation 2. Now we're going to go back to equation 1, and wherever we have x, we're going to write 16 by 3. So let's do that. So here it's going to be 16 by 3 is to y is equal to 5 is to 4. Now we can find the value of y. Let's do again product of extremes equals product of means. So that will be we're going to write y here. Y into 5 is equal to 4 into 16 by 3. Now we want only the value of y. So we're going to leave only y here. On the other side, we have 4 into 16 by 3. We're going to transpose this 5 to the other side. Because it's multiplication, it becomes division. So you can write into 1 by 3, or you can put it below 4. 1 by 5, or you can put it below 4. So now we have this. Now let's find the value of y. Is there something that we can cancel? As you can see, there's nothing that we can cancel. So we're going to multiply the numerators. 4 into 16 is 64. 64 into 1 is 64. And let's multiply the denominators. 3 5s are 15. So 64 by 15. So y is equal to 64 by 15. Now this is an improper fraction. Let's convert it to a mixed number. So divide 64 by 15. 15 fours are 60 minus 4. So what is our mixed number? 4. 4 by 15. So we have found the value of y. Y is equal to 4. 4 by 15. This is our final answer. Question 7. Find the value of x when 2.5 is to 4 is equal to x is to 7.5. Let's write that down. So 2.5 is to 4 is equal to x is to 7.5. That means they are in proportion. The equal to sign tells us that. So let's use this. Product of extremes equals product of means. Since x is in the means, we'll use the product of means first. So x is to into 4 is equal to product of extremes, that is 2.5 into 7.5. So now we can find the value of x. X is equal to, now let's multiply 2.5 into 7.5. 2.5 into 7.5, ignore the point, it becomes 25 into 75. Multiplied, 5 5s are 25, carry 2, 5 2s are 10, 11, 12. 0, 7 5s are 35, carry 3, 7 2s are 14, 15, 16, 17. So 5, 7, 1 plus 7 is 8 and 1. Now go back to the question, look for the decimal places. Is 1 plus 1, 2 places. So 1 plus 1 is a point, 18.75. So let's write it here. X is equal to 18.75 and we're going to transpose this 4 from the left hand side to the right hand side. So it's multiplication on the left. So when it comes here, it becomes division. So divided by 4. Now there are two ways you can do it. You can straight away do 18.75 divided by 4 and your answer will be a decimal number. Now if you want your answer to be a fraction, we'll do it a different way. So first we'll make it a fraction. So in this case, if you can see, the numerator is 18.75. It's a decimal number. So we can make it a whole number. How can we make it a whole number? If we write it this way. Now look at this, 18.75. When I make it a whole number, I will write this as one full number and I'll give it a denominator 1 followed by 1, 2, 2 zeros. Okay, so now this has become a decimal fraction. So I can do that here. So 18.75 will become 1875 by 100 and 4 is already there, isn't it? So that becomes 1 by 4. It's the same. It's all there. 1 by 4. So now this will be 1875 divided by 100 into 4, which is 400. So the first thing we can do is we can reduce this to the lowest term. We can divide both by 5. So what we are doing here is we are trying to get our answer in the form of a fraction. So let's divide both by 5. So here this is 5, this is 18, isn't it? So 5 3s are 15, 16, 17, 18. There is 3 remaining. So now that's become 37. That is 5 7s are 35. There is 2 remaining, 25. 5 5s are 25. So when you divide there, you get 375. Now let's divide 400 by 5. 5 8s are 40 and then you have 0. So that is 80. 375 by 80. Again, 375 by 80 can be reduced to the lowest term. Again, divide both by 5. When you divide both by 5, again, we have 37. 5 7s are 35, 36, 37. That's 2. 25. 5 5s are 25. So in the numerator we have 75. In the denominator, what do we have? 5 ones are 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. So that's 30. 5 sixes are 30. So we have 16. 75 by 16, which is an improper fraction. Let's convert it to a mixed number. 75 by 16. 16 fours are 64. Minus 5 minus 4 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. So that is 11. So the mixed number here will be 4. 11 by 16. So this will be a final answer, 4. 11 by 16. So this is our answer in the fraction form. Now, if you want your answer in the decimal form, we can go straight to this and do our division. 18.75 divided by 4, and you will get your answer if you want it in the decimal form. So let's work out the decimal form also. 18.75 divided by 4. This is a normal division because the divisor is 4, which is a whole number. So 18.75 divided by 4. Now this is in case you want your answer in the decimal form. So let's take 18. 4 4s are 16 minus, then we have 2. Carry this point up, bring the 7 down. Now we have 27. 4 6s are 24 minus 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring down 5. 4 8s are 32. Now here we bring down 3. As you can see, the remainder is not 0. So you can continue your division by adding a 0 there. So let me put that 0 also down here. Now the number is 30. 4 7s are 28. Minus 30 minus 28 is 2. Again the remainder is not 0. Let's try by adding one more 0. Bring that 0 down. Now our number is 20. Now 4 5s are 20. So now our remainder is 0. So what is our quotient? Our quotient is 4.6875. So this is in case you want your answer as a decimal number. Otherwise, you take down the previous answer as your fraction answer. Show that 2, 12 and 72 are in continued proportion. That means A is to B should be equal to B is to C. When there are 3 terms and if they are in continued proportion, this condition should be satisfied. That means the first ratio should be equal to the second ratio, and the first ratio, we'll use those 3 numbers to form the first ratio. 2 is to 12 and we are repeating 12 on the other side. 12 is to 72. Now let's simplify 2 by 12 and see what we get. So 2 by 12, let's divide this by a common factor. Divide both by 2 and see what we get. 2 1s are 2 and 2 6s are 12. So the left hand side we've got 1 by 6. So let's write that down here. On the left hand side we got 1 by 6. Now let's see on the right hand side what we're getting. Let's simplify 12 by 72. Reduces to the lowest term by dividing with a common factor. It's divisible by 2, 3, 4, 6. It's also divisible by 12, which is the highest common factor. So let's divide it by 12 and see what we get. 12 ones are 12 and 12 sixes are 72. So as you can see, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. That means these 3 numbers, 2, 12 and 72, are in continued proportion. So with this, children, we have come to the end of this exercise. Thank you, children.